Maybe. Apparently, we're on air now. Da na 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 na. Cheers, guys.
It was taking a while for it to start, so we were just kind of hanging out, whistling, Parent Trap.
Yeah, yeah. But here we are on the
Welcome.
Q&A. Welcome.
Why are we doing this?
We're doing this because we reached 2,500 plus subscribers, you guys, to
Yay.
this one's channel, My Girl Hit or
But
Miss
it's our
Movies.
channel.
It's our channel, but you do another fantastic show on it. We do a show together. There's lots of content on there. So we're here to celebrate you guys being fantastic fans.
My mic was not on. Ben.
Oh, shit. Ben.
What happened?
Stacy was the
do?
one talking.
What did you do?
Says volume a little low. Well, that's because I did not have the mic on. Now I have the mic on.
But we
So
have
I'm
the
going to
mic
wait
on
for you
now.
to tell me if it's working.
How do we sound? How do we look? How's our hair? What questions do you have for us? You guys. So where did we get these questions from? We have some from Twitter.
Some from Twitter.
Yeah.
We have some from Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We have some from the chat.
Yeah. Chat right now.
A lot of questions.
A lot of
I
questions.
just want to know,
Ben's
though, like
moderating.
chat friends, here's what I want to know. How is the microphone now? Because I want to make sure that it's loud and proud and is working. So please let me know about that.
It sounds good on my headphones, but also I'm sitting 5 feet from her, so
I know.
It's
like I
always
kind of
hard.
hear
It's
the actual
hard to know.
talking too.
It's hard to know. Ooh,
Okay, good.
Someone
Thanks,
said for
Neil.
goddesses. I like that.
Thank you. All right, let's get into a question. Ben,
Yes.
our Bengineer
Ooh.
is going to be our question moderator. So
Thank you,
he'll see
Ben.
your
Ooh.
questions in the chat. He'll see the questions off of Twitter. He'll see the questions from Instagram. All those things. Still a little low. Can you turn me
I'm
up
turning
a little?
yours up
Thank
a
you.
little bit.
It kind of gets like fuzzy on this one.
Okay.
So if that happens, you can always move
Yeah.
that instead.
It
Yeah.
sounds fine
Okay.
to me right now. So if
All
I
right.
start hearing fuzziness,
All right.
we'll
Okay.
work with it.
Fantastic.
Okay. So first question.
Yes.
There are a few people who've asked you this. John McCarran on Instagram, and then on Twitter, there are like 3 people, and I'm not going to list all of them.
Okay,
Sorry,
that's
guys.
fine.
But
That's okay.
how did you two meet?
That is an
Hey, great
excellent question. How
Yes.
did we meet? Well, I, for a time, wrote for Schmoes Know. I
Yes.
was the first female writer for their website.
Woo.
And this was back when they were at Toad Hop, and they were kind of revamping their website, and so they needed more writers. And I, at the time, I used to write for a website called Hit or Miss Movies, which was my website, which is why this is called Hit or Miss Movies. I don't have that website anymore, so don't go there. But
it is the name of your YouTube channel.
It is the name of my YouTube channel.
Yes.
So I was writing my own, and then I said, oh, maybe I should write for Schmoes. So I said, hey, do you guys need a female writer on your site? And they said, sure, send over some of your samples. So I sent over some samples from my previous writing, and then ended up writing for them for almost a year. And I think like right when I was done writing for them, I just decided, like, they switched over to news at that time, and I just had a young baby and I couldn't keep up, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not able to really like put in as much as I would like to for you guys, so I'm just gonna just say bye for the time,
Just for now.
just for now,
because you're back.
So yeah, so
Mhm.
that's what happened. And then you started writing for them like right after I was done, or maybe overlapped a little bit.
I think so. This was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was a fan of Schmoes Know, like many of you in the chat might be, which is how you might be familiar with us. And I called into their show. This is when they were with another network than they are now. And I called into their live show and talked about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we just had a discussion. But I found their email on the bottom of the page, and this is a great piece of advice for anyone that wants to get into the industry or any kind of something where you don't have an in yet. I just found the email at the bottom of the page and emailed them and said, hey, I talked with you guys on your show. Thank you so much for, letting me speak. You don't really have a lot of girls call in. I'm glad to lend my female voice. I appreciate what you do. Big fan. Go Schmoes. And then Riley emailed me back and was like, hey, I loved it. We loved you on the show. You were great. I love that you talked about lending a female voice. We don't have a female writer right now. That was you. You left that
I
point.
was gone.
You were gone. So can you write? Are you
Mhm.
able to write? Do you want to send us a sample? And I was like, I can try. I've never really written anything before, not anything about movies official,
Mhm.
but I wrote a sample piece about, I think it was about 50 Shades of Grey. It was about to
Nice.
come out in like 6 months. And I was like, you know what? It might not suck. It could, but here's my take on it. And they emailed me back and was like, this is great. You're a writer now. Write everything
Mhm.
you can. And so I wrote for them for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. And I loved it. And that's how I got involved with everything that I do now. So because we both wrote for Schmoes, we knew each other via Twitter.
Yep.
You messaged me.
I did.
And we talked for a while. We met up for an event one time
Mhm.
and we just became friends. And I went through my Twitter messages just now and I found the first one where you mentioned us doing a podcast together. You said, let's brainstorm. Maybe we can podcast via Skype and we will start our own revolution. So, guys, here we
When
are.
was that though?
This
What was the
shit,
date
hold
of
on.
that?
The date of this is
'Cause it says on there.
very March. It's April 7th, 2015. So this is gonna be
Hmm.
almost 2 years ago.
And then we started in like October of
Yeah.
2015. Yeah,
Yes.
because I had to come up with the idea of what we were gonna do and how we were gonna do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, which she came up with the entire concept. She said, I'm going to do this thing. It's like a reverse bracket in sports. And I said, what the hell is a reverse bracket? I don't know what you're talking about. She said, it's going to be like a Venn diagram kind of thing. Or not Venn
Mhm.
diagram, but like a diagram. And I was like, oh, you mean like this? And here we are. She came up with this
Yes.
fantastic concept for a show, how we can talk about so many movies. She gets a lot of the guests on our show. She's trained herself on how to use the equipment. She has built up this podcast and her website so much, and I'm super proud of you for that. Not to get
Thanks.
emotional,
Aw.
but I just want to toot my girl's own horn for her, toot toot, because she has worked so hard, and I contribute as
Mhm.
much as I can. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard with a full-time job.
Right. And you have to drive up here. Stacey has to drive like over an hour
I
to
do.
get here.
I do.
Because it's it's traffic time in
Mhm.
Los Angeles, and
Yeah.
she does that every week for
Mhm.
this show.
Which is not a big
Mhm.
deal to me at all because it's completely worth it.
Mhm.
And, I watch as many movies as I can and talk about it as much as I can. And we've gotten to do so many fun things
Right.
through this show. And
We
because she
have.
networks the heck out of it and gets so many great guests on.
Always hustling.
Always
I think
hustling,
our
you guys.
first date was going to Tournament of Nerds.
It was.
It
yes.
was. We went to Tournament of Nerds, which is
Mhm.
something in Los Angeles at the UCB Theater, Upright Citizens Brigade. It's a midnight show. Hal Rudnick is one of the hosts, and it's basically just two geekdoms like going head to head.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like the BK Kids Club
Yeah.
against what was it, like Chuck E. Cheese
And
or
then
something.
someone was like Khan from Star Trek, and it was.
Dude,
It was
were you there with
fantastic.
the dude when it was like the dude from
No, I don't think
Lebowski?
so.
Oh
That
man,
would have been great.
it was
though.
great against. Oh, we did see the guy that was like from the shoot, what's that mini series where it was like the guy that hiccups and he like um the
know this
Jinx,
one.
the Jinx, the guy from the
Oh.
Jinx.
Oh,
Like,
that's right.
There was
Robert
a guy that
Durst!
that was playing
Robert
him
Durst.
so good. He was
Yes.
so good.
He was
Oh
literally
man,
fantastic.
Tournament of Nerds is a great show. If you're in LA, it's on the third Saturday of every month at 11:59 p.m. They don't put it at 12 a.m. because they don't want to confuse people.
Mhm.
So 11:59 p.m. Upright Citizens Brigade on Sunset, not Sunset, Franklin, and yeah, go check that out. Such a good time.
Fantastic.
I wish it wasn't so late, but anyways. So there you go. That's how we met. Twitter, basically, Schmo's Twitter.
Because she
writing.
was just like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, girl, what's up with you?" And then we became friends.
That's right.
We don't just do a podcast together. We are genuine friends who started off just talking about movies. And I think the main reason why we came together, our biggest thing that we had in common was we're like, we don't feel like there's enough females that review movies and talk about movies
Right.
and have the great fandom that we have. I
Yeah.
don't know. We don't know every movie, but we love
No.
movies a lot and we like talking
I
about it.
definitely do not know every
Do
movie.
not know every movie.
But I love movies.
Yeah.
And I do my best to catch up on films when I have the time to do that. I'm trying to watch a film a day. So that's like my goal right now, as much as I can do it. If I have the time, I'll watch a movie.
Fantastic.
So, and I have a huge list in my queue, a huge list in my, now I'm getting Netflix DVDs sent to me. So I'm working on it. I'm chipping away.
Yeah.
So I can be better at
Yeah.
that dang trivia show. that we love
did
so much.
really good last time.
You did
though.
great.
You
You guys
Stacy
did
showed
great.
up.
You
Thank you,
did
Ben.
Yeah,
great.
no, I watched it
She-
last night.
mhm.
And it
Excellent.
was like you guys did really well.
And it was
Thank you.
fun.
They got
That's-
horror.
Yeah.
You were like
I know,
the,
what can
the
we do?
second they
That's
got
our
horror, you were
downfall.
screwed.
They got horror twice.
Well, it's not our downfall because you're really good at horror. I
am.
like horror films.
Mhm. It's our downfall
but
that
it's
they
that
knew
they got their
everything.
strength.
Yeah, they got their strength.
If we had
twice.
spun musicals, I would have been like,
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Or if we had gotten horror, I feel like I might have known a few of the questions at least. I didn't
we
know.
were definitely
like
like
to this.
telling each other the answers.
Yeah, we were
to
like,
all of
what's the
them,
answer?
but-
I don't know. Guys, that show's hard, but it's fun. That's
It is
the whole
fun.
that's the
It
whole
is
point
fun.
of it. It does get competitive, but not in the way that you're like, I want to beat this person. Even if you lose, they still invite you back for like another round. Like it's just about being fun and loving movies and having a good
Putting on a
time.
good show.
Put on a good show. That's
If we
right.
didn't like spend so much time on our entrances, people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you spend a lot of time on your entrances." So I was like, "That's the one part of the show I can control,
Yeah,
friends."
yeah, that's
So
what
I
we
gotta do
bring to
good.
the table, you guys. So yeah, we were brought together and we met because of our love of film and our belief that females have a voice in a very male dominated sector, which is movie reviews and you know being a movie fan. And we just wanted to put our 2 cents in there and just get out there, you know, and have our voice. That's why we came together.
Yes.
That's why we stay together.
And I also like that we're not always talking about like movie news or current movies because
Yeah.
we sometimes do,
Mm-hmm.
but I like that we don't because it gives us like there aren't. I mean, there's movie shows that talk about. Hey, Sarah McLean, I love her. Um, there are movie shows that talk about what's current, and I like that we talk about older films as well. Or just films that we like.
None of the films from the show we did today were from the last like 10 years. Like
Yeah.
there are movies that came out decades ago that we like to cover, some that came out just, in the last 5 years or so. But I like that it's not just current stuff, it's just film. It's
Right.
film that you love. I like that too.
Let's
Okay.
go to another question.
Great.
Ben was like, shut up.
No, like so many people ask
First
this question. I think this is a
Okay.
good one to take
okay.
a lot of time on if you're going to take time on anything.
Okay.
Going off of how you two met each other and just contributing to my vanity, so Neil Varma asked how Brianne met me.
Oh, how I met Ben. Let's see. Well, I'm in a community called Kinda Funny, which they have their own YouTube channel if you don't know who they are. So youtube.com/kindafunny. It's 4, sometimes 5 best friends gathering around this table. But no, they have a podcast. It's called The Game Over Greggy Show, which I've been on. And basically these guys just talk video games, and they have a really great, like, it's one of the best communities on the internet. So it's Greg Miller, Nick Scarpino, Tim Geddes, Colin Moriarty, and sometimes Kevin. And behind the scenes, you're our Kevin, Ben.
I know.
But so I found these guys back in April of 2016, and I really liked their podcast. And so kind of got involved with the community, and the community is so great and so welcoming, and they have so many events in different areas. Like they have events going on in Los Angeles and like New York, and just like people that want to get together and talk about video games or even other things. It doesn't have to just be video games, because I call Kinda Funny like the Game Over Greggy Show, the view with men, basically, because they talk about different each person brings a different topic to the table, so it's not always video games. And I'm not a big video game person. Like I play video games, but I'm not like constantly playing. So I'll play a game here and there, and I did Hot Pepper Gaming because of Kinda Funny, where I reviewed Super Mario Run. But anyways, here's how I met Ben. Was it at Portillo's?
No, it was at Polite Provisions at
yes,
Comic-Con.
Polite Provisions at Comic-Con. So they had a meet and greet for Kinda Funny at Comic-Con, at this place called Polite Provisions. Highly recommend going there.
Great bar.
It's like
So
the best
good.
bar I think
It's-
I've ever been to.
It's so cool inside. Like I walked in, I'm
Yes.
just like, this is my aesthetic.
It's like a vintage looking place, but like high end vintage. It's great. I didn't feel claustrophobic, and I'm totally claustrophobic, guys. So I was like, okay, that's what worried me about going to this meet and greet, because I am claustrophobic, and I was like, I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of people. It's gonna be crowded. I don't know what's gonna happen. Kind of want to meet these guys because I had never met them, but they knew who I was, because when I like am part of a community, I'm loud. So that's where I met Joey, who I had met before. She's the community manager of Kind of Funny, and that's where I met Ben. And from there, kept in touch. We'd done a few meetups of Kind of Funny.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I live here in San Diego, but I'm moving,
Mm-hmm.
transferring to college, and my college is like
Down
10
the
minutes
street.
away from, yeah, literally down the street from where you live.
Yes.
So
And then he was like, I have Wednesdays off. Do you need any help with your show? Or I was like, do you want to help with my show?
yeah, you asked me.
I asked you that. And then at some point you're like, I have Wednesdays off. I was like, perfect. Come do the
Yes.
show. So that's how that worked. And then Stacy met Ben the first time when he came for his first time working on the show.
I did, and I was like, "We have an intern? What is this? I did not know about this intern
Yes.
program." But I was
Mhm.
super excited because interns mean assistance,
Mhm.
means help with things like refills on our champagne, and obviously assisting us with. Thank you so much for moderating the
Chat,
The chat.
as well as
As
the
well as the
questions
questions.
and the
Thank you,
soundboard
Ben.
and
soundboard.
doing all of that, getting our movie link tweets. Usually we didn't do it
Mhm,
this
yeah.
week, but when we do movie link tweets, like I'll send it to Ben and then he'll compile it and then send it back
Yeah.
to me and then I'll put it into the document that we have.
Before I was like actually coming, Brianne had mentioned me
Yeah.
before during movie link tweets, and Stacey just didn't pay attention at
No.
all.
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
that
There's
was
a
it.
lot of names. A lot of names.
No, it's true. That's
there's
true.
a lot. There's a lot, you guys. And apparently, I didn't even accept his friend request on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which I will do right now,
Yeah.
you big baby. No, what a lot of people don't realize is that for shows like there's so much little details and so much time you have to put into being able to put on a good show and being able to appreciate your fans, like you guys, enough that we need help with that. So
Mhm.
Ben is here for that, and he's also a great movie fan himself. He's in school right now, very talented. Super excited to have him on the team.
Yes.
Just
Thanks,
look at
Ben.
you, kid.
I am in
And-
school. I am not talented.
You're super talented.
What?
Eh.
Don't say that about yourself.
You're
man.
talented at your wardrobe selections.
Aw, thank you.
Yes,
Holly
that
Day
makes you talented.
Evolution, thank you for subscribing. We appreciate your subscription.
Hi, Holiday Evolution.
Okay, we're moving on.
All right.
Let's see. So,
Okay.
Someone said
Randall
like,
Sands asked, "What is your favorite restaurant to eat at?"
ooh.
Great question. I can start.
Okay, go.
There is a place in Los Angeles. I haven't been there in years, and it really makes me sad. It's called El Cholo. There it used to be. It's a Mexican food restaurant. It used to be on. They're the ones that created nachos. Like if you go to their,
What?
I am not joking. It says on their menu like
my God.
what year they created nachos. I have not looked this up. I have not fact checked them ever, but I'm just gonna go with it. I'm
don't
gonna
know
go with
about
it.
this.
So
Know about this.
so they are the first one I went to is on Western. It used to be the only location that they had, and it was this little house. And went there in college. I went to USC, and then they branched out and they made one in Pasadena. And I was living over in that area at the time, so I'd go to that one. And now I know they have one in Santa Monica, but
Mhm.
going to Santa Monica from my current location is not easy at all. So I have not been to El Cholo in like years, and it makes me
Gonna need to
sad.
go here.
Chicken chimichangas is what I get there. It's the best, the best.
Do they
I
have
would
it
like
with,
some
the
right now.
chilies on top, or like chili?
No, well,
Oh,
no,
mm.
they have a really good guacamole that they put with it.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
quite delightful. And maybe I'll go there for my birthday. That's coming
Okay.
up soon. It's coming
You
up.
should. I want to go to medieval
days.
times for my birthday.
Yeah, that will be fun.
What's your favorite
There's the
restaurant,
pirate dinner show.
Stacy?
My favorite restaurant. Oh, that's so hard because I
I know.
love food. I just love like just good old country food. You know, I guess my favorite restaurant. Oh, it's so hard. Oh shit. Well, you know,
We
no,
could
no, no.
come back
I'm
to
gonna go to
this.
seafood. It's
Okay.
called King's Fish House.
Okay.
And there's a few. There's a few in there's some in Long Beach. There's one in Huntington Beach, which is where I live, and they have fantastic clam chowder. They've got great calamari. You get like oysters
Mhm.
on a half shell. So yeah, I love seafood. I love food that's bad for you. Food that's like fried and fattening and with butter and flavor and just fantastic,
Right.
wonderful starlight. Yeah, King's Fish House. That's my answer to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
Hey,
Cool.
Paul.
Okay, give me a second while I
You should have these ready, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah, Ben,
let's
you
take
can't
some
just
notes
sit
here.
here and look pretty, okay? You need to like do the work.
I'm not allowed to be seen.
It's okay. We don't pay him.
It's
not
true.
Like, it's not like
We
he's
don't get
earning a
paid
paycheck.
either, though.
We don't get paid nothing, you guys. We ain't earned nothing.
I ain't got
Okay.
no
So-
money.
Tristan Fonegra on Instagram asks, "What is your favorite movie decade?"
We answered
Ooh.
this in a Movie
Yeah.
Pillow Fights episode with Sasha Pearl Raver. Go back and check this out in our catalog. We haven't done Movie Pillow Fights in a while. I know that's a question also. Like, are you going to start that up again?
Yeah.
Would love to.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just hard in terms of timing
Mhm.
when we finish the show because we have to do it like right after the show. And we don't always have that time right after because I have to go get my daughter or things like that. So,
like I'll have work later
yeah.
in the day. It's hard.
so it's more about timing and less about like, we want to do it.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
So we'll see. But go back to that one, Sasha Pearl Raver. We talk about the best decade in film.
Mhm. It's our girl.
So look that
Yeah,
up. Look that up.
You gotta look it up. We're not gonna tell you.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're teasing.
It's a spoiler.
Ooh.
Well, not really a spoiler. It's a teaser.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's a
You're right.
teaser.
You're right.
It's a teaser
Okay.
for a teaser. Movie
Teaser
Pillow
for a
Fights
teaser.
is a teaser.
So Hollywood
Sure.
nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah.
30-second trailer for a trailer.
Kind of like
Alright.
that, honestly.
Some people hate that.
I know. I like things. Clint LaJeunesse. I don't know. how
He's
to
in the
pronounce
chat
that.
right now.
Oh, cool.
I
Hi,
think.
Clint.
Hi, Clint. He asks, with all the podcasting about movies and guest appearances on movie-related podcasts, do you ever find watching movies have become a chore and not enjoyable?
Well, I did watch 50 Shades of Grey the other day.
Oh.
That was a chore.
That was a
Yeah.
mistake.
Because I need to be current on the new one that's coming out. So that way, in case there's any trivia questions that might be asked about that, sometimes I do find it's a chore in terms of like, I need to catch up on films that I haven't seen that, like there's a ton of James Bond questions in the trivia
Yeah,
schmodown, and I
I've never
am not
seen-
versed on James Bond. Like, I need to watch those. And to me, that would be a chore because
Mhm.
I'm not really that interested in James Bond. Like, I saw the Pierce Brosnan ones,
Mhm.
and that's it.
I've seen some Pierce Brosnan, some Daniel Craig. That's it.
I missed the Daniel Craig one because those came out like when I was in a severe depression. So like I missed a lot of movies in those few years.
Mhm.
So
But you're
I haven't
catching
seen them.
up. You're
I'm catching up now.
Mhm.
So I do need to like learn. Maybe someone can give me a resource of James Bond that's kind of like. I really love the podcast that's Geek History Lesson with Ashley Victoria Robinson and Jason Inman, where they go through comic books and they like break it down for you and like they give you a concise podcast. Like, this is this character all in one podcast. Here's all the things you need to know about this character.
Mhm.
And I would love that for each James Bond movie. That's a podcast rather than the movie. Like, I want to listen to history about James Bond and stuff like that because that's more interesting to me than watching the films for some reason. I don't know why. The
Good.
James Bonding podcast with Matt and Matt. I will check that out.
We shall.
Maybe.
For me, yeah, like you said, it's
I have watched Die Hard. Sorry, Real McCoy. I have watched Die Hard. I just can't
Let's all calm
remember
down.
names.
It's hard. It's hard. I only
Really,
knew Holly because
you know it
he's-
because he says it, and
Yeah, he
you
says
have
it
a
a lot.
specific memory.
I have a verbal memory.
Yes.
I have. If I hear something, I will know it.
I have to see it.
Yeah,
written.
I'm visual. I see
Mhm.
Die Hard every year, and they asked that question. I was like, I have no idea. Surely,
I have no
don't know.
idea.
Yeah. No, because
I was like Nakatomi Plaza.
yeah,
I could give you that.
that.
I could give you that. He wants Twinkies. Like, come on.
Yeah. Mine is like you said, it's like if you have to watch movies you wouldn't normally watch, then it's a chore. But movies in general, nah.
Mhm.
Boy, I will go. My boyfriend makes fun of me all the time because I go see movies by myself, and he thinks is that weird. I don't
That's
think
not
that's weird
weird.
at all. There's
That's
so
not
many
weird.
movies I want to see. I would never be able to get someone to go with me to all the ones I want to go to. Like no one's gonna want to go see. I don't know. I can't even remember the last movie I saw that no one wanted to see it with me because a lot of the movies that have coming out have been like bigger like Oscar films now. But like
Mhm.
that new movie that just came out,
Moonlight.
Moonlight I
Split.
did see by myself. Split
Okay.
I saw by myself.
I saw
I
those.
saw there's random movies like
by
Michael
myself.
Fassbender just did Macbeth. Okay.
Okay.
No one's gonna want to go see that movie with me, right? But I wanted
Yeah.
to see it. I was
Yeah.
curious. And there's like
I mean, it's Michael Fassbender.
yeah, it's
Gotta
Michael
see it.
Fassbender. Who doesn't
Wow,
want to see it? So I
hello.
drove like 30 minutes to a little indie theater and I saw it at like 9 o'clock at night. You know, I don't want to wait for someone to come with me. I'm going to see that fucking
Yeah.
movie, you guys.
No
it's
waiting.
my life. It's my life,
Guys.
mom and dad.
I have a double feature this week. It's John Wick 2, and then immediately after,
The
it's
Lego
50
movie?
Shades
Oh.
Darker.
Not Lego Batman 2.
Well, I'm seeing that on Saturday. So,
Okay.
yeah. I
That's
have
the
my-
movie I want to see the
I'm
most.
doing
Well, yeah, my
John
kids
Wick
are going
and
with
Lego
that.
movie on Friday.
Nice.
So that's my
Nice.
double feature. Aren't double features the best,
They
you
are.
guys?
Yeah.
Let us know if you're going to do a double feature this weekend and what you're going to see because that would be super
Tell
fun
us.
to know. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question ready this time.
Mhm.
Good.
So, Jonathan Regaldo asks, what are some of your favorite novels that you would like to see adapted into films or TV shows?
Oh, that's so hard
really
because I
hard.
I have
don't
an answer.
read. I
No.
read biographies, so it's really like no one's gonna want to watch a fictionalized version of like.
I mean, there are biographies that could be adapted.
There can be like who wants to watch Jason Priestley's biography depicted?
Yeah.
No one. Jim Gaffigan. I don't know if they want to. Now they have the Jim Gaffigan show, which was on TV Land.
They
That is a
do.
great show. 2 seasons of that. They're done though. They're not doing any more because
Aw.
it was him and his wife that like did it and put it all together and stuff. And they were like,
Mhm.
"This is too much for us," and we have 5 kids,
Yeah.
so we don't have the time to raise our children and do this.
Right. Right.
Which I love. I love the Gaffigans. I think
Mhm.
they're a great family. And I enjoyed his show. And yeah, I don't think Jason, like I said, Jason Priestley. I don't know. I don't
Jason
know.
Priestley is, I
Mhm.
mean, he's referenced in so many films.
Mhm.
Clueless.
I like to go back and
I don't
read,
know what
but I actually
else.
like to watch movies and then read books that like the movie came from. So I do it backwards in terms of like I watched The Watcher in the Woods. Now I
Mhm.
want to read the book The Watcher in
Yes.
the Woods.
That's why you should do
Um,
it.
What's the
I
Watcher in the
have
all
The
Woods?
Watcher in
I
the
don't know what
Woods.
that is.
It's from the 80s. Bette Davis is in it. Uh, and it's basically about this girl, like a family moves into a house and all these weird things start happening. And they learn that there's a girl that's been missing. She disappeared in like 10 or 15 years before this family moved in. And they're trying to figure out like where she is. She's somewhere. She's like stuck somewhere.
Mhm.
Like they need to figure out where she is.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how it goes. It's supernatural in a way. And very scary, like kid. It was supposed to be the first PG movie that Disney put out. But the black hole was pushed up. So then the black hole became the first Disney PG film that was live action, which put Watcher in the Woods next. And then Watcher in the Woods was kind of a bomb, but then it became a cult following. Anyways, I
Mhm.
have the book and I've read like the reviews of the book, and people say that they like it a lot better
Mhm.
because it changes. The ending is different.
Mhm.
And so I'm interested in that. And it's just like a short, 150-page book,
Oh,
but yet
okay.
it's still sitting
I
on my
got time
dresser.
for that. I got time.
So there you go.
I do read. My Kindle is probably my most prized possession, but I don't read, shall we say, smart books. I love paranormal romance novels
Interesting.
because they are great ways to pass the time, great ways to relax. They're
Mhm.
an easy read. They're fun. They're sexy. They're cool. So like Presley Cole, Jenna Showalter, Larissa Ione. There's a bunch of fantastic female writers out there that write great female characters. There's one, Presley Cole is my favorite author, probably. She has an entire series called Immortals After Dark, and it's all about mythical creatures like vampires, werewolves, Valkyrie, all kinds of creatures you would hear about, but it's like 13 books so far, and you are introduced to all these very, very funny, very smart characters, and it's just about their adventures together,
Mhm.
and each one is about a different
Yeah.
relationship and how all the books kind of intertwine with each other. And I would love to see something like that be brought to screen, maybe in like a Netflix series or maybe an HBO series. I think that'd be fantastic. So maybe not a movie, but yeah, paranormal romance, as cheesy as it sounds, is very fun, very relaxing. It's a great way to pass, a 4-hour flight or whatever. And I just think it's fun. So yeah, that's what I
Okay.
would want to see adapted, is
Nice.
a series like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
Can I give an answer?
Yeah, what's your
Okay.
answer?
Yeah.
Ben?
So
can.
as a screenwriting major, I've thought about this many times.
Mhm.
I want. Do you know what the Magic Treehouse books are?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, love
Yeah.
Magic Treehouse.
I
Read that
want
to my
Magic
daughter.
Tree. So Magic Treehouse are these kids' books that I read when
Yeah.
I was in elementary school,
Mhm.
and they are about
They're
a brother and
great.
sister who
Annie
find
and
this
Jack.
tree. Annie and Jack, who
Mhm.
find. I didn't remember that. Who find this treehouse full of books, and when they open the and read the books in the treehouse, it transports them to the time of the
Of the
books.
book.
So they like
Mhm.
travel through time and space into book worlds.
Whoa.
And they have
And
to
I wanna-
solve like kind
yeah.
of little mysteries or riddles and things like
There's
that.
one where they
It's-
meet
it's good.
Shakespeare and are in one of his plays, and I want that to be a
Yes.
Cool.
Netflix TV show.
That's fantastic.
That
Yeah.
would be a great show.
Right?
I've
It's
thought
really
of that too. I do love
That's my
Magic
dream.
Treehouse.
It's so good.
We just read the Thanksgiving one. It's very cute, but then there's certain times where I'm like, that's a time paradox. That's a paradox right there. You saved those kids. They weren't supposed to be saved. You saved them, and now
Gonna
history
ruin
is
the whole
different.
timeline.
It's
But-
the butterfly effect,
but-
Danny.
But are they actually altering history, or are they just going back into a fictional world
You
of
would
the
think that
books?
somewhere they'd be mentioned, though, in like
I mean,
books.
yeah,
or
maybe.
something. Anyways, that's my
Just-
that's my
That's my choice.
part on Magic Treehouse, which is great. I love Magic Treehouse. I think that would be a great series.
I just have the Magic School Bus.
Magic
theme
School Bus is a
song,
series.
and the Magic School Bus.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun. That I just have that in my head. But I did love the Magic School Bus series as well as the books
Mhm.
growing up.
Yeah,
So
they were great.
Yeah, there you go.
Miss
Mhm.
Frizzle.
Yeah, Miss
Is
Frizzle.
that
You
Lily
guys,
Tomlin?
I
think it's
am
Lily Tomlin.
Miss Frizzle nowadays. You guys,
You should be that for Halloween. I've seen a cute costume that's Miss
I
Frizzle
could totally do
with the
that.
like dress. Oh man, you
I'm
gotta
also
do it.
gonna
Gotta
be
do it.
Poison Ivy. I'm debating whether
Yes.
I should get a less expensive $77 Poison Ivy costume that
Mhm.
not as good as I want it to be, and it's a dress, or should I spend once I get paid in like a few weeks, $250 on
No.
a custom
No.
made like leotard?
I'm
No?
already telling you no.
Okay, why?
250 is a lot unless you
Yeah.
are going to wear that to a convention, and a few times.
I might though.
Okay.
I might
Then
wear it for
yes.
something.
But if you're just wearing it for one thing, then no.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm gonna
But
tell
I,
you.
I do love Poison Ivy, and I've
Mhm.
wanted to be her for years. So I feel like I would wear it multiple times.
Okay.
How did we get into this discussion
know. I
from
don't know.
what's your favorite
know.
book to be turned
Well, I
into?
mean, Poison Ivy's from a comic book,
Yeah,
so
it's
Okay.
connections.
good.
True, there you go.
Okay,
All right.
Chris Day asks, "What was the movie that inspired you?"
Well,
So it
that's
can be-
no,
I
we're
mean, it
not
can be-
answering that
Movies,
question.
or-
Fine.
Here's why we're not answering that question. Stacy has answered that question. She answered it on Film Therapy
Yes.
Mm,
when she was on. So look up Film Therapy on this channel.
Mhm.
Find Stacy's episode.
Mhm.
There you go. She's answered it. I'm going to be answering that same question on Film Therapy as well in the near future because Jason Inman is going to come and he's going to interview me.
Oh,
You
There
could-
we go.
You could answer it in a different way, though. Like,
You
what
can.
inspired you to love movies as much as
That's
you do?
true. We
Mhm.
could. We're not.
Okay, fine.
I'm saying no.
I was prepared with the question, so
Okay.
another question.
uh, ah, great. Okay, we're going back to Clint because he has some really good questions,
Hi,
actually.
Clint.
Yeah, hi Clint.
Thanks, Clint.
So he also asks, you have some pretty terrific guests. How have you met and made these
Mm.
relationships? Do you credit anyone for helping you along the way?
I credit Twitter with everything pretty much because Twitter is what really is the reason I know, Christian and Brian. Christian and Brian? Who's Brian? Well, I know Christian and Mark. Brian, I know from the Film Vault. So basically, a lot of it's Twitter and just talking to people on Twitter and then like asking them to come on.
Mhm.
There's that. So the schmoes themselves have like been able to, because we know them, that opens up being able to have people that also know them on the show. Screen Junkies also, like
Mhm.
I was able to get on Screen Junkies as their fact checker, the first fact checker fan cam person, like in their like 11th episode of Movie Fights. That was basically all through Twitter. And from that, I've been able to meet all the Screen Junkies people and get like contacts with them. Then we go on like movie games and then we meet Hector and
Mhm.
Adam. And so it just kind of, the door just kind of opens.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I mean, it all started with the Film Vault, Brian and Anderson.
Mhm.
Like if I didn't do the Film Vault, I wouldn't be doing this podcast because
Mhm.
that kind of like helped me find my voice,
Mhm.
if you will.
Now, and when you say through Twitter, I really
Mhm.
need to emphasize that, and this is advice to anyone who kind of wants to do what we do or get a starting point at least. Of fantastic way to do that is not just straight up ask, "Hey, do you want to be on my show?" You
Right.
need to form
Create
a relationship with them
first.
Yeah,
Yes.
create a relationship. Say, "Oh, I'm a fan of your stuff," and do like what you guys are doing now. Join the chat and ask questions, or say, "Hey, I just saw this movie. What did you think of that?" Or
Yeah.
start a
Because
conversation.
if Randall Sands ever decides to start a podcast and he asks us to come on, I'm obviously
For
going to
sure.
say yes
yeah,
because he's
he
been
deserves-
around.
yeah, and we know who he is, and he
Yes.
has. And you guys have established like none of you guys are like crazy people or like trolls or anything. You have established a positive relationship with that person, and say your opinions and start conversations and say, "Hey, I saw this movie. What did you think?" Or "I'm
Right.
going to this event. Who else is going to go? Let's meet up." So have a base relationship first, and then from there you help each other out by being on each other's shows. A lot of times we'll invite people to be on our show, and then they'll invite us to be on their shows. Like
Right.
I'm going on Real Rejects next,
Yeah.
because Greg and John have been on our show. So
Right.
you just
And we
feed
met
off of
them
each other.
from the Schmodown.
Yeah,
Because they when they taped the spectacular, they were there, I was there, and I just started talking to them. I was
Yeah,
like,
and
"Oh,
you're like,
hey,
"Hey,
we're
what's
in
up?"
this together. What do you know?
Yeah, haha.
Come on our show."
Good to meet you. So just be nice.
Yeah.
You're interested in the same things. You already have something in common. So get involved. So Twitter doesn't mean like, "Hey, come please be on my show." You have to. It's like, "I
Yeah.
think you're great. I'm doing this one thing. Do you want to be on there and say what you got to say?" So that's it.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but it's effective if you do it consistently. And
Right.
I try and get on Twitter as much as I can, but it's hard with my job because I work retail and I can't have my phone for, up to 8 hours a day. It's just not allowed to be
Right.
on me. So I try as much as I can, but again, it's about making your presence known and being super active on it, which is something I really want to work on. So, yeah.
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 There it is.
There's that.
Okay.
All right.
Lyserberg on the live chat asks,
Hey.
what would be your pick to cast as yourself in an autobiography film?
Oh, geez.
Gosh. Okay. Natalie Portman, I guess. Because I'm very serious and I feel like she is serious, or at least she's serious about her acting.
Yes.
But I kind of feel like it could be Natalie Portman, or, if we wanted to go younger, Daisy Ridley. I've always said Allison Brie or Anna Kendrick. Like those are we all if you meshed us all together, maybe we'd look like each other. I don't know.
Stacy, who would you cast as
Yeah.
Brianne?
Oh, who would you cast as me?
Yeah, who would you cast as each other too? Let's get into that
okay.
too.
Good,
Jeez.
good. I'm gonna think about who
Gosh.
I'd cast as you.
What?
Elizabeth Banks for you for sure,
What?
because she
I-
is
I can see
awesome.
that.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
I feel like and I'm just a lot more like, I guess, quirky or out there, or not as, I don't want to use the word reserved for you, because but
Huh?
you're a much more controlled, contained person,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your personality, and that's what you have. And then I feel like the reason why we work so well is that we're opposite.
Yep.
And so I feel Elizabeth thinks that's a great choice. Yeah, I like that one.
For you.
Or for me.
Yes.
For you, oh gosh, that's really, really hard. Lena Headley, however you say her name,
from Game of
Thrones?
Thrones.
Now she's
Interesting.
because she is, if you look at her character, from several of her projects, not just Game of Thrones, but something like 300, or she played Mama in Dread, right, with
Mhm.
Carl Urban, that one.
Mhm.
She has just an incredible presence and is very like still and focused. And in real life, I think she's a lot more. If you see her on Twitter, she's like very like kind of sassy and like playful and fun and stuff. But I feel like whenever she is acting, she has this like a mother quality to where you want to like be good around her. You want to behave. So she likes you and thinks that you're cool. So I feel like that presence and that tone, I would want to play you in a movie for a biopic. So there you go.
I saw some for you, and I think are good. Julianne Moore, Uma Thurman, maybe even Sandra Bullock.
Maybe Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock.
No, I love Sandra Bullock
she's
too.
quirky.
Yeah, she's quirky. Yeah,
She's a bit older, but that's okay.
I'm also kind of thinking about like the look. I'm not sure Sandra Bullock's the right look.
Yeah.
For Stacy.
Yeah, she's
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like Margot
Lindsay
Robbie
Lohan.
could be.
Lindsay Lohan.
I feel like Margot Robbie with brown hair could be Brianne.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
There
These
you
are
go.
great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Ben, who would play you?
Ooh,
Ben,
I have
who would play
who would
you?
play me?
I've said it before. James Gunn's brother. What's his name?
That's
Sean
right.
Gunn.
Can I be played by Ryan Gosling?
Sure.
Yeah,
Please.
we'll do it.
Sure,
We'll
yes.
allow it.
Yes.
We'll
But
allow
guys,
it.
he looks just like is his name Sean Gunn? I feel like
I
we
don't
looked
know.
that up.
We did
last
look it
time.
up.
His brother.
I don't.
Who's also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can see certain similarities, but the just like part, I'm not so sure
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
I need to come
Personally.
up with a photo
Okay.
on this. Hold on. Go to the next question, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
get everyone a photo. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
we'll do like 2 or 3 more questions.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our next question is from Eric Monroe.
Oh,
He
hey,
asks,
Eric.
what is your favorite coming of age film? And he asked us on Twitter, so I don't know if he's in the chat.
Okay, coming of age film. Gosh, so many great ones. I also want to state that coming of age films and high school films are 2 different things because I was told the other day that high school films are going to go into coming of age and I was like, "No, they can be different. They can overlap in the Venn diagram, yes, but they can also be very different." I'm going Sandlot.
Eric is here. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Eric. I'm glad you're here. I'm going Sandlot. Loved Sandlot as a kid. Saw it in the theater. Loved Mike Vitar. Like that, had posters of him. I just love Scotty Smalls and the, metamorphosis that he goes through as this new kid in town and then becoming part of this group. So I just love that The Sandlot is kind of a sweet film for kids. The only part I didn't like about The Sandlot is when they all throw up at the carnival. That made
Oh,
me
yeah.
very upset.
Yeah.
Other than that, like if they just took that out, I'd be like totally cool with this movie and be like, this is the best movie ever. But because that happened, I was like, why did we have to go there? Why? Any
They
throw up
had
in
to-
film
it's a boys,
bothers
it's
me.
boys though. Little boys are gross and they throw up. By the way, this is the photo, guys. Ben looks just
Oh, he
like
kind of does. Wait, Ben looks like the other Ben.
What other
Ben.
I
Ben?
don't like this.
He
I don't
does
like
look
this.
like
I
this.
don't
you
like
guys.
this.
Come on, you look
I
like
feel
this.
insulted.
What? He's cute. What do you
Is he?
mean? Yes.
Is he?
Yes, he is. This is like when
Look at
people
that hair.
say I look like oh gosh.
Ben Bateman
What's her face?
and Ben Bellevue kind of look like they could be related.
Yes.
Ben
Bateman,
Bateman.
like
Yes.
Ben Bateman is on Action Movie Anatomy with Andrew Guy.
Oh,
They've been
okay.
on our show before.
I've been told I kind of
Um,
look like Ben Wyatt.
I
Parks
don't
and
know Ben
Recreation.
Wyatt.
This is like when people tell me I look
I
like
don't know
Judy
him.
Greer,
You-
and I'm like, do I though?
Huh.
And then
Okay,
I
is-
get, 'cause I don't do that.
Clint, I'm not allowed to get in the
What's your-
shot.
sorry,
It's Stacy's
coming of
rule.
age.
Also,
What's
someone
Yeah.
said some Lyserberg said that Katie Cassidy could play Stacy, and I can
Who's
see
Katie
that.
Cassidy?
She plays Laurel Lance, Black Canary on Arrow.
I don't watch Arrow. I'm gonna have to look this up. My favorite coming of age, which I probably talked about this before, but it's gonna have to be 16 Candles
Hmm.
because I relate to her character so
Yes.
much. I was definitely a late bloomer in high school. I definitely have a wonderful relationship with my dad, very much supportive, and how he doesn't yeah, you do.
You do.
Doesn't
Wyatt.
I approve of that
um,
one.
doesn't understand or exactly know what's going on, but definitely
Mhm.
sympathizes and tries to offer advice and is there for me all the time. And I didn't really find myself, my confidence, my womanhood, I guess if you will, until I was like older in my 20s. So
Mhm.
16 Candles for me represents a lot of that yearning, that wanting to be older, wanting to be more mature, wanting just people to see me for as I was, and feeling like people always thought I was too young, too immature, too much of a baby, I guess,
Yeah.
to really see me as like a young woman that was out there to conquer the world, or just get the guy she likes, So yeah,
There you go.
16 Candles, my fave.
I don't know my favorite, but Edge of 17 was great. I saw that one really recently.
I haven't seen that. People are
So
talking about that
good.
in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's
Mhm.
why I brought it up.
I do want to see it. I like Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw the trailer for that. You know what? I thought it looked really cheesy.
it's great. It's my fourth favorite film of
I
last
want
year.
to see
Now,
it.
bear in mind, I haven't seen a lot of the ones that people consider the
Okay,
greats yet.
okay.
So
Yeah.
there are plenty that will probably
Okay.
go above it, but of what I've seen,
Okay.
I love it a
All
lot.
right.
All right.
2 more.
Yes. Okay. So, I had it 5 seconds ago. Ben McElroy in Twitter
Ben.
on
Hey,
Twitter
Ben.
asks, any plans to take the show on the road, film fest, cons, etc.? I know travel is hard with kids, but I think it'd be cool.
Here's the thing. So when you go to a convention,
Mhm.
like when you say take the show on the road, I'm assuming you mean like go to a city with a convention and
Mhm.
like
Like
have a
perform there.
panel or
Mhm.
something. I feel like if we were to do a panel for Six
We would
Degrees and
come.
film therapy, it would be a closet
Yeah.
somewhere,
It'd
and
just be
maybe
us.
it would
But
be
it'd be a
us
fun
and two
closet.
people.
Yeah.
So I love that idea. That
Mhm.
I mean, that would be great. I'd love to get to the point of like my favorite murder status, where
That
we
would
can
be
just go and
amazing.
like sell
I
out
love that you
a
love my
crowd.
favorite murder.
I
We
mean,
haven't talked about that yet,
okay,
but it's my
it's
favorite
a great
show.
podcast, guys.
Yes.
Georgia
They have a great-
Hardstark
Mhm.
and I don't remember the other
Karen
girls.
Kilgrave.
Karen, yes,
Mhm.
amazing women,
Yes.
and that would be great. But
Mhm.
we're not at that level.
I mean,
We're
you
not
could
that
get
level.
cool
No.
guests
We do,
Mhm.
yeah.
if you did
Here,
that.
here's the thing. In answer to your question, I think we would love to go to a convention together, but more just
Mhm.
as fans to attend it. I've
Yeah.
never been to one,
Yeah.
What?
and
They're
yeah,
fun.
I've never
Come
been
to
to one.
WonderCon. We should
I
get
I
that
will
scheduled for you.
absolutely.
I just
Um,
put in my press pass, so we'll
mhm.
see if I get that. I don't know.
So I think we would love to go see what it's all about, and
Mhm.
maybe if we were on someone else's panel and
True.
had them like invite
Yes.
us to speak, that'd be amazing. Of course, we would love to do that. We just don't have the followers. We don't
Yeah.
have the numbers yet. That it would just be like if we had like a panel like we said, like no one would come, or maybe like one or
Yeah.
two, or maybe someone like wander in, and that's not I feel like insulting to us anyway. It's just not there yet. We've
Mhm.
been doing it. We kind of started to do it just for fun, and now it's become more of a all right, what can we do to get this going kind of thing, and what can lead to other things from this. So
Right.
yeah, that would be amazing. Maybe someday we'll be there, maybe in a few years, but right now we'll just go as fans just like you guys, and we'll definitely do a meetup. I feel
Sure.
like if we were there and like, hey, if anyone else is in WonderCon, we're gonna go eat burgers at such and such. Let's all meet up. I
Mhm.
think that would be great. But
Yeah. WonderCon, I think, is first weekend, first Friday, Saturday, Thursday, maybe of April.
okay,
I want to say,
all
yeah,
right.
and that's at the Anaheim
Is that the
Convention
8th?
Center.
Because I might have a birthday thing.
I don't know.
All
I
right,
think
we'll
it's like
see.
the third.
Okay,
I
well,
know I know April 1st is a Saturday, so it could be
Okay.
31st, first.
Yeah,
second.
there you go. Host a Screen Junkies Plus show. Sure. Are you gonna give us that contract, Scott?
yeah, that'd be
We'll
great.
do it for you.
This actually ties into the last question
Okay,
I'm gonna
great.
ask. So
Great.
again, going back to Clint.
Tell them to
Okay,
get
this is
us
the
to
last
host the
one.
show.
This is the
Um,
last one.
Tweet
There were
them,
some
you
questions at
guys.
the very beginning of the live chat that I now can't get to because there's
Okay.
too many
Yeah,
comments.
sometimes that
Sorry,
happens.
guys.
Sorry, everyone.
So Clint asks, do you feel 6 Degrees of Feature Film will continue to grow into something larger? Any prospects for a studio type show? Is that something you would even have interest in?
It's a great question.
Good way to
And
go
we'll
out.
get to the how tall is Stacy in a moment, because I know everyone's wondering about
Mhm.
that. Oh, thank you, Eric. He answered it. Okay. So, but we'll answer it for those that are not watching in a moment. It's a great question.
Mm.
And it's hard because when you have a show, when you create a show on your own
Mm.
and it's yours, you kind of are weary about selling it because in order for me to do it for someone else, I'd have to sell it to them. And that's the problem for me. Like, I don't want to give over my creation to someone, and
Mhm.
I don't know at what price someone would want to buy it for. I also so there's that. And there's also no one is currently coming to me asking to buy it. There's that as well. Either shows or any of the shows that are on here. That's not something that, you know, I've learned a lot. I take a hosting class, so I've learned a lot about building a brand, and I've learned a lot about having buyers come to you. So I'm more interested in waiting for a buyer to come to me than trying to sell what I've been doing, if that makes sense. Because when people want to buy you, then they're going to um, not only they'll be interested in working with you because they've seen what you've created, and so I don't want to just take it to somewhere else having built it up here.
Mhm.
So it's going to stay in this spot until someone comes to I don't know, maybe someone will come and make an offer. I don't know. I don't know, maybe an offer I can't refuse. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah, the thing and I agree with everything you just said. we love doing this show. We have a lot of fun. So if someone wants to pay us to do it, or at least give us the opportunity to get more numbers and get more viewership, I think that would be amazing. So if we can continue to do it just like this and have our say in what we talk about, the guests we have, and our look, yeah, I would absolutely take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is that we just want to continue to feel like our voice is being heard and that our opinions matter. And if someone else wants to involve us in that and say, hey, we have a channel of shows, why don't you join us? For sure, we would do that without question. But it needs to be like on our terms,
Right.
know? So
And that's the hard part.
yeah. Which, and someone
So-
said Patreon.
Yeah,
that's another
That's
option.
one we've been thinking about. It's hard.
Yeah.
Patreon's hard because that does create work for you as well, and it can be a lot.
That is kind of why I exist.
Patreon is why you exist.
Well, no, I mean to help with work.
Yeah.
Yes.
To help
yes.
with work. So there you go.
Yeah.
Was that our last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did 3 more.
And Stacy, how tall are you?
Okay, so I am 5'8", so I'm not that tall.
But
However,
she was wearing large-heeled shoes
very tall.
at the Schmodown. So
Yes.
that's why she looks like a giant compared
And
to
you have-
myself and
you have
Emma.
flats on.
I had flats on.
And another thing, I usually wear high heels. For instance, these are my shoes today. So I usually have some kind of heel on. It's just my thing. I like it because when I was younger, I was always a little bit taller and I was self-conscious about it. But now I'm like, once you get older and you have something that you're self-conscious of, just fucking own it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to be tall. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to over-exaggerate it. I'm going to be that tall redhead in the corner that's like yelling about the mummy. Like,
Embrace
that's
it.
my thing. You guys just own everything that you are like slightly self-conscious about, and no one's gonna make fun of you for it. No one's gonna point it out because you're just gonna be like, it's fucking me. Here you are,
Lessons from high school.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard lessons to learn. You don't learn it until you're older, but you're gonna get there. It's okay. It's okay, you guys.
And I'd love to get Amy Rose on this show.
Who is Amy Rose?
Amy Rose Eisen. I don't know how to say her last name. Someone tell me what it is. But she was on Movie Talk for years, and now she has her own production company. And she would be great. I would love to talk movies with her. She's Alicia Malone's friend as well.
Oh,
so you've seen her.
Then she's fantastic.
Eisenbach. I was going to say Eisenbach, and then I was a little nervous that maybe that wasn't it.
Okay.
And so thank you.
Eisenbach.
Eisenbach. Thank you for putting it in phonetics, Paul. Paul, aren't you supposed to be teaching right now? What are you doing?
Is Paul
Wait a minute.
He's teaching us.
Well, I'm
He's
teaching
teaching
us,
us
but
how to
like,
do it.
aren't you supposed to be like at school? What's going on?
What's happening? He took a day
We
off
can't leave.
just to watch.
We
this
can't
show.
leave until we find out what's going on and why Paul is not at work.
How tall are you?
I am 5'4".
It's a good height. It's the average height.
Yeah,
women.
I've got the average everything, average boob size, average height. Like, yep, that's me. I'm the average.
We're real women, you guys. We are real women. You know what though? Can I
Okay,
have
Paul.
a real
Fine,
moment?
you're excused.
Go for it.
Can I have a real moment
Mhm.
and say? So I was watching our Schmodown episode yesterday.
Yes,
And I was super proud of us. I was
Killed
like,
it.
we're killing it.
she killed it.
You killed it too, girlfriend. We got great answers. we
Aside
got
from
great
animation,
questions.
which I'm so angry about.
We earned like 25 points, which is mainly what people earn to win. Like
True.
they usually get up there and then they're like, they earn 24 points, they won, but they just earn more than us. So, it's okay. But I thought we killed it the entire time. I just want to say that I was thinking about because when I turned to the side, I was like, oh, I hate my nose. It's too big. I should get a nose job. I need to get a chin job and all this stuff. And I'm like, everyone else looks so much better than me. Can I say that happens to people that are on camera a lot? We're always very critical of our physical appearance. Fuck that shit. Okay. Not to curse and go off on a rant, which I totally did. But even if I am self-conscious about it, and even if it does bother me and I think I need to do this and this to make myself look better, just go for it, whatever you're striving for. And if you have something to say, it doesn't matter how you look. You just say it and it's okay. And I don't know why I'm going off what?
Or sound.
Or
Because
sound.
I hate my voice.
Yeah, I don't like my voice
Yeah.
either. A lot of people gave me shit when I went on Real Rejects. They said, this girl has such an annoying voice. And I was like, yeah, I probably do, you guys. I realize this. But it's okay because whatever. This is who I am. I'm going to go out there and be loud and proud and fucking tall and a giant and tower over everyone and just scream to the rooftops, whatever.
You should do
Fuck
that.
it.
You should
Everyone
do that.
do what makes you happy?
Paul said his class is at 4 p.m. By the way.
Okay, all right.
Also, Scott
But
Torres said
it's
you should
online.
do.
He said it was online.
It was online.
Like,
I don't.
anyways,
I don't know.
whatever.
Scott Torres says you should do a source-fed table talk, and if that ever does happen, by some chance, you're bringing me. Just saying.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we do have something. Sam Basher and I have talked about doing podcasting together. So
Yes.
we still have that in the works. Him being on this show or on Film Therapy or both. So I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I've emailed him. He's emailed me back. All that. See, all because of Twitter. All because I've strung up a quasi Twitter relationship with Sam Basher some random way because someone was like, "Oh, hey, you're gonna be at LA Comic Con and Sam Basher's gonna be at LA Comic Con. I know the two of you are gonna be there. You should say hi to each other." And I was like, "I don't what."
That's
Like,
how things
and then
start,
I was
guys.
like,
That's
"Okay."
how things start.
And then like he and I started talking. Crazy. It's weird. It's
Mhm.
weird how things work.
Fantastic.
Anyways,
This has been a wonderful
This
chat,
has been
you
fun.
guys. I like this. We should
This
do
was
this
fun. next
more
time,
often.
maybe when we get 3,000, we're
May-
close.
Yeah, guys, only 500 away. That's
No,
not bad.
less than that because I think
I like
we
being
have.
involved.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
We have like 2,700 something subscribers. So maybe at 3,000 we'll do another one.
2,781.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fantastic.
So help us get to 3,000.
Yeah.
We'll do another one.
Let
It'll be great.
everyone know.
All right. Where can we find you, Stacey?
You can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012, on Instagram at Stacy O. Howard, and on the street towering over everyone. Where can we find you
Yes.
on Twitter? And Instagram and
You can
everything?
find me again tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Movie Talk, Collider Movie Talk live. Gonna be with some crazy panelists over there. Gonna be the only girl on the panel. Very
Kill it,
excited.
girlfriend.
I hope
Get
so.
it.
You can find me on Twitter at Miss Movies. All right.
Okay.
That was great. Thanks,
Cool.
Ben. Where
Yeah.
can we find you, Ben?
Oh
Quickly?
yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Mr_BentoBox
Mhm.
and on Instagram at Mr. BentoBox. No underscore because that's my handle for everything but Twitter.
And your car
That
looks like a
damn
bento
Twitter.
box. So
My
that's
car's a
kinda
little
fun.
green Kia Soul. I love it dearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
It's
not
cute.
seen
It's
your
cute.
car yet.
You can look out the window if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
All right. We will see you guys at 3,000 subscribers.
guys.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.